Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Should Scrapper, back for the scrap room with my design team layout. I am using the Legendary collection from Pinkfresh Studio and Paige Evans, which I got as part of the November Flavors of the Month kit. So I decided to make a grid layout. I love all of the subtle pattern papers in this collection, and so I decided to showcase those by creating grids. I do get multiple add-on kits as well. I get the Embellishment Shots of Life, which is the pocket page kit, and then I get the pattern paper kit. So I cannot recall off the top of my head what I got from where, but I just love all of the pattern papers. So I have my 3 photos. I will, or I did trim them down a little bit because I wanted those squares to be quite a large border. I believe the squares are 4 by 4, so my photos must be a little bit smaller. I kind of batch create and then edit when I get a minute, and the end of October was pretty busy, so I'm trying to remember the sizes and whatnot. So for the embellishments, it really came together quickly. I didn't really have much to think about, I guess. I had like that circle piece. I knew, my 4 square was going to be my title or just kind of like an embellishment square. So that title, Chasing Goals, was perfect for these photos. Just a day kind of out at my cousin's property, just target practicing. These photos have been on the top of my stack for quite some time, and I figured what better collection and title, I guess, than to use and create this layout. So the top 2 photos are him kind of shooting, and you can see that they are kind of going opposite directions. So I did make sure to place them so they are kind of going into each other, into the layout. That kind of just draws your focus to the middle of the page. I am not always picky on this, but because I have 2 and they're looking opposite, I did want to kind of bring the attention to the middle. And then the bottom is him. Apparently he got kind of a bullseye on the target, which is exciting. So that's just him pointing to his shot. So once I get these all down, like I said, embellishing comes together quickly. For part of the embellishment, and again, I get multiple add-ons, but you do get some of the ephemera. I got half of the sticker sheet, and then I believe enamel shapes is the other one. So I would have gotten those in the main Flavors of the Month kit, the embellishment kit, and then the Shots of Life kit. The Shots of Life kit lately too has been really fun. There's been some 6x8 papers in that because it is a pocket page kit. So that's been fun to kind of play around with that. That has inspired me to make a couple of mini album layouts as well for my sister's album. So lots of inspiration just from what I receive in these kits, which is I'm always looking for. Sometimes I think you get stuck, I guess. And I was feeling stuck before I started receiving these kits, and these kits have really kind of upped my inspiration, and I'm finding that again, which is amazing. So love, love, love these kits. So you can see embellishing, I just kind of do a lot of layering in this one, and maybe a little bit of embellishing on each of the squares. So at the top here, I have a piece that I kind of tucked in underneath there. On the bottom left, another piece that I kind of tucked underneath. I love that like ticket look, and that orange just pops on that aqua background. At the top, I had just some extra space, the top left photo. So I did add some mountains and some trees, that little tag or tab with a saying on top. So just very simple embellishment clusters, but I love the way that they all turn out and love that I was able to add a little bit extra to each of the squares. So when I get this done, if you have been following me for any amount of time, you will probably know that I like to border my layouts. So with this being a white background, I did not border it, so with a pattern paper. So what I decided to do was to draw, or I guess scribble, some lines around the layout. And that just kind of brings your focus into the middle again as well. I did mess up on the top left. So to fix that, I decided I would try my hand at stitching X's. I have not stitched an X before. So you can see on some scrap piece of paper, I kind of stitched so that I could practice and make sure it kind of made sense in my mind before I actually did it on the layout. So what I did is I think I did 4 stitches in 2 columns, if that makes sense. I think I could have gotten away with 3 stitches in 2 columns and reused maybe the middle one. If anybody's done this before, let me know. I would love to actually know maybe the right way to do it. It worked. The way I did it, it worked. So I'm not mad about it. But I did add 3 stitches. Oh, I lied. I did 3 X's. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 2. I thought I only did the 2, but because I did it to the top left, I decided to add some to the bottom right as well, just to bring it in somewhere else. I could have done more, but I just thought those 2 were a good addition. And so what I ended up doing was coming up and then going a diagonal, and then behind the paper coming down back to the bottom to go back up diagonally to make an X. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, I had to kind of practice myself, but that is going to finish off this layout. I am loving the November Flavors of the Month kit, so definitely get your hands on that one. You don't want to miss out, but hope you guys enjoyed this layout, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.